Hi guys, it's Rick Shiels down here in Orlando, and I'm going to test the latest Taylormade P-750 irons, and I'm also going to follow it up by testing the Taylormade P-770 irons. Two sets of golf clubs very much aimed at the better player. Very much aimed at that better player. I've actually come over to my friends at Foresight because I'm also going to test out the new GCQ as well, which is the normal device I use, GC2 and HMT, but all combined into one unit now. It's just hidden in this this section here. The reason why I'm using that as well is so I can use the sim software to show you how I normally review golf clubs. You know, it's how I normally do it, apart from the sun's out here and I'm not at Prairie Sports Village. Let's go with the 750 first. These clubs are so designed to the better players. They are so clean looking. We've got a little bit of tungsten in the bottom. We've got the forged head, which is a soft metal. They look super classic and super simple. Unbelievably simple. I've not had absolute specs on the lofts yet, but I'll put them in the description. Hopefully I can get those after the review. But I've got a 7 iron, a 3 iron and a 9 iron to test. And then I'm going to move into the slightly larger 770 irons, the P770 irons. Why they've been called those names, it's the blade length. So the 750 have a 750mm blade length, and the 770s, which have just fallen over, have a 770mm blade length. So that's where they've come up with these names. Not the most inventive, let's be honest, but that's what they've called them. These have been very much designed from the tour players moving back. The best players in the world want to see clean lines. They want to see an iron that looks good, that they can manipulate, that has soft feel. That's why they're forged. This particular model, the 750, has a little bit of tungsten in the bottom. I think 5 grams of tungsten in the bottom, but that weight's been moved forward and not as far down as you may see in a more forgiving model. These aren't aimed at forgiveness. They're really not. Like I say, I don't know the loft. I would imagine by looking at it, it's around about 33 degrees, but I will put specs in at the bottom. I'm hitting Pro V1s like I would do normally in my reviews. Let's give this a hit. From the top, it's boxier than I expected it to look. It's got quite a boxy top line and not as scary bladed as I've seen some of the really bladed Taylormade irons in the past. The top line does have a bit of thickness. Moving into 770, they go even slightly thicker. I didn't expect that. I thought there'd be a lot thinner top line. Let's give these a hit. That felt good off the head. It felt very soft. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit these very far. That came up way short of what I expected. I didn't middle it. That was a little bit from the toe. What did I actually carry out? It was really short. 157. Let me see if that was just a real bad miss strike and I didn't quite fully tell, or whether they are maybe not the longest. I wouldn't expect them to be so, to be fair. Oh, that's a better hit. I think the first one I didn't hit very well at all. Yeah, that's more like the distance I'd expect. Yeah, what did that carry out? Just under 170 carry, I think that one had. Good stopping power into that green there. Feel lovely and soft. In fairness, that first one didn't feel as bad as I thought it was going to do. 168 carry on that 7 iron, that second one. Let's go one more. Oh, a bit of a left one. Not overwhelmed with that then. I like the feel, but I'm not massively. I suppose again this is aimed for the really much better player. You know, the best players in the world are using these. The Justin Roses of the world are using this type of iron. And that's why it's surprising me it's bigger. If I look at the strike location, the strikes are all very, very central. Let's go one more with the P750 iron with the 7. It's a penetrating ball flight. It's not super high, that I wouldn't expect it to be really high. Creeping on the front edge again, surprising. They felt good, really soft off the head. They're not long, they're really not. And I found that I couldn't really tell whether I'd absolutely middled it or didn't middle it. And definitely more boxy than I expected them to be. I'm going to pull the flag further back. So I'm going to move to a club now that I've not hit for a long time. And you can tell they're a proper player's set when you have one of these even as an option these days. This is the P750 3 iron. Not hit a 3 iron for a while. So I don't know how far this will go, if I'm dead honest with you. And again, I'm not expecting ultimate distance. So boxy, the shape. I'm actually not a massive fan of the shape. I like the fact there's not that much offset. I like the look of the irons, and I want to look like the top line, but I just don't like how squared off it is. Almost like they've been a bit too sharp with the lines. It's not as rounded as like a previous model, like a PSI Tour iron. That was quite rounded. This seems very boxy and sharp on the figures. Let's give this a hit. 3 iron. I'm not sure what to expect distance wise on this. Around the 210, 215 mark, I would expect. Little left bullet, it's gone out like an absolute rocket ship, like a missile. It came out like low. You're not going to get a lot of help with these irons, you're not, honestly, and that's not what they're designed for. They're not designed for that. I would say to entice the better players, you've got to make a club that's soft and it looks great. I think these look great. I just don't think I like it from the top line when I look down at it. Just not as soft as I wanted them to be. But that's just my personal opinion on the irons, and hopefully from the close-ups you'll be able to pick up on those sharp lines at the top. It's coming out like an absolute missile. It's going to get close on that one. Let's go one more. So that's carrying around that 200 mark, I would say, just in and around that mark. I've not got lofts on this iron again. I'm going to guess it's around 19, 20 degree, 207 carry. It's a nice straight ball like that. This is giving you no help whatsoever. If you want an iron to go high, look somewhere else, because these aren't going to give you that height that you want from a 3 iron. They're actually quite hard to hit up in the air at all. Feel phenomenal. More than anything, feel phenomenal. Super soft feel. Believe they've used a new, you hear this a lot, a new different way of forging an iron, but they do feel really soft. Let's move to the 9 iron next. Okay, so moving to the 9 iron. One thing I didn't mention before when I'm looking down at the number as well, and it complements the boxy look of these irons. It's a very boxy number. Just very sharp and a bit, I don't quite know the word. It's not, I just wanted it to look a little bit softer all over. It needs a little bit of a, looks like it's been proper designed in a workshop with proper men, and they've just gone, we want it to look a certain way, and then let's just stamp it with a bit of masculinity. Needed a little bit of female touch, I feel. Some of the edges needed to be softened off. The number definitely, the actual number of the iron definitely needed softening off as well. Let's hit the 9. I'm going to guess again around 40, maybe 42 degrees of loft for the 9 iron. So put the flag at 150. Slightly bottom thinny one. Just goes to show again that there's zero to no forgiveness in these irons. And again, that's not what it's designed for. You've got to look at a set so differently. You've got to look at the performance, the elite best players in the world, what type of iron they're looking for, and then there's a whole new category for when you're looking for forgiveness and distance. These do not sit in the forgiveness and distance market. These sit in the performance line, I would say. That's the nicest shot I've hit out of any of the shots so far. That felt great. And I really cannot, and I mean this in all seriousness, I cannot complain with the softness of the feel. I love that forged softness. I think it is wonderful. I'm not sensing that much difference with the tungsten and the weight across the bottom. I'm not feeling that at all. I love the look behind. It's very clean, very simple. Top line just too sharp and thick for me. It's just not, it is probably too thick for me, if I'm honest. Too sharp and thick. Needed to be a little bit more rounder to suit my eye. I love the fact that there's not much offset, just not a lot of forgiveness. And I think now if I move into the 770, which is the iron I'm going to do next, I think that's where we're going to see a different look to the iron. In the fairness, I think we're going to see a very different performance of the iron. From what I've been told, they're the same lofts, but I think with that extra little bit of blade length and the way that they've added more weight into it, I think the 770s are definitely going to be the ones that people are going to be trying more. But don't just take my presumption of that. Stay tuned for the next review coming very, very soon of the P770 irons. The P50s, 750s, I'm somewhere in the middle of them. I'm not overwhelmed with them. I think they could have done a better job with the cosmetics. Performance-wise, that's all down to me whether I'm going to hit them well or not, because you just don't get any help with these at all. But that is who they're aiming for. They're aiming for the better players. Probably out of my category, really. Guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Quite interesting using the GCQ, much bigger hitting space, which made the review a little bit easier. And hopefully all of that is saved so I can show you that data as well. Guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, lots more to come. We'll see you next time.